Hi, today we're just going to do a mat class, no equipment, as fluidly as possible, and we'll just move. Not an easy class, modify where you see fit, but I just want to really create flow with a lot of our traditional exercises. So let's begin, sitting on the mat. And you're going to have your feet flat, and you're going to have your hands just gently positioned beneath your knees. Feel your seat bones, and as you exhale, allow your shoulder blades just to feel a little more lengthened down your back, just softly. Take a wide full inhale, and this time as you exhale, imagine your little seat bone headlights moving gently into full beam position. So I'm drawing my hip bones slightly backwards, and you should feel a C curve in your spine. Careful you haven't clamped the chin to the chest. All the way back up onto your seat bones and lift your eyes. And again, 3 of these. Draw the hip bones slightly backwards, feel the low back lengthen and stretch. Back up onto the seat bones, lift the eyes. And again, lengthen just as far as you can. Keep your feet flat, keep your hands on your knees, feel the seat bones, and lift the eyes again. This time, making it slightly more challenging, feel big toe, second toe on both feet. Again, draw your hip bones backwards, and you're just going to go to about your waistband, there or thereabouts, wherever you feel comfortable. Keep those little seat bone headlights flicked up until you can feel your seat bones and lift your eyes back up. So again, I'm tipping the pelvis backwards, feeling my little seat bone headlights flipping up to full beam. I'm about my waistband, there or thereabouts. Try to feel big toe, second toe, all the way back up onto your seat bones and lift your eyes. Now if you can, we add to this. Drawing it back, and pause. Both arms coming out to the side. And then both arms coming back, all the way back up onto the seat bones. Lift the eyes. And again, drawing it back. Pause. Keep those collarbones beautifully open. Now in my mind, I'm almost imagining my heels pulling towards my bottom. Watch you don't clamp chin to chest, and lift the eyes. So we're going to add a little bit to this. Draw it back and hold. Now see if you could take the arms out, hold it here. Flatten both feet carefully and lift one leg up to bent knee. And bring it back down. Find big toe, second toe on that firm planted foot. Lift and lower. And again, lifting and lowering. Keep breathing, no clamping of chin to chest. Lift and lower. Now if you've had enough, finish on that one, but one more if you can, each side. Lift and lower. And last one, really try to feel the connection of your inner thighs. And lower. Now if you can, bring those arms in and peel onto your seat bones. Perhaps take your hands onto your knees and lift your breastbone up towards the ceiling without splaying the legs out. And on this next one, just make sure there's plenty of mat behind you. We're going to bring it all the way down and hold it down there. So a little bit of bridge. So feet come that little bit closer towards your bottom. Squeeze an imaginary ball between your knees. Lightly. From your neutral spine, that's your level sacrum, T12 heavy, collarbones open. Lightly draw your hip bones backwards and peel your spine sequentially off the mat. Keep squeezing the imaginary ball between your knees. Inhale at the top, and as you exhale, collarbones open, melt the spine all the way back down. Really keep that neck long. Again, another. Draw your hip bones slightly backwards. Peel the spine sequentially all the way up, squeezing those knees towards each other. Feel those little seat bone headlights flick into full beam. And as you breathe out, lay the bones all the way back down. So make it slightly more challenging, adding the arms. Hip bones lightly come backwards, lifting. I'm thinking about a length through my sacrum. I'm going to inhale, take my arms back behind me, and then melt the spine all the way back down. That should feel really nice. And this time take your arms out to a T position. Draw your hip bones lightly backwards, peel, feel big toe, second toe on both feet, and pause. Now I want you to imagine you have a skateboard underneath your sacrum, underneath your pelvis. And we're going to come down just one vertebra so you're not too high with the pelvis. And now slide your pelvis across to one side on that skateboard. Slide it back through center, make sure you're still squeezing the ball between your knees, slide it to the other side. Back through center, come down one vertebra. Can you still feel big toe, second toe on both sides as you slide across, pelvis really level, slide to the other side. And back through center, come down one vertebra, slide. This is a lateral translation of your spine. Slide. Really try and keep those knees as still as you can. One more. Come down one vertebra. Slide across. Trying to keep your hips as level as you can. Slide. Imagine a spirit level bubble from hip bone to hip bone. And pause. Now lay the bones sequentially all the way back down. You could bring your arms all the way up. And for the last time, draw the hip bones slightly backwards and just peel the spine all the way up. Really focusing on those little seat bone headlights, flicking up into full beam. And for the last time again, take the arms back behind you as you inhale. And then on your exhale, lay the bones all the way back down, 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 down. Neutral spine. Arms to T position. Leave the feet if you would like it to modify, but if you can, a supine spine twist where we bring one leg up to bent knee, focus on ankle, knee and hip socket alignment, and then bringing your other leg up to bent knee. Squeeze the big toes, the bunions together, the knees together. There's a credit card between each of your bunions and your knees. So from there, we're going to bring our legs as we inhale a little across to one side. And I'm pushing my top seat bone away from me. All the way back through center, not massaging the waistband. Thinking much more about massaging that sacral region across to the other side. So my biggest focus here is length through my spine, not twisting my legs. Making sure that my knees are even, keeping my shoulder blade firmly anchored on the side opposite to that I'm taking my legs. And back. And again, inhale. And exhale. Really lovely long neck. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly from there, allow the heels to come to the bottom, hands to knees, and just draw big circles with your thigh bones. You may even want to lift. It's up to you. Couple one way, couple going the other way. It's entirely up to you what you do with your head, neck and chest. You may even roll it a little to one side, just so that you're keeping that cervical spine moving. And pause. One leg comes down, other leg comes down. We're going to do a little bit of chest lift. So we clasp the hands together, pop them behind the middle skull, reposition the feet so that they're a little less close towards the bottom and bring the elbows into peripheral vision. Sacrum buried, T12 heavy. Little bit of length at the back of the neck as you lift your head, your neck, your chest up. And then lay the bones all the way back down. Really simple. And again, a little bit of length at the back of the neck. Lift, 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 lift. This may be where you keep it. And lay the bones back down. But if you can, squeezing an imaginary ball between your knees, we lift, 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 lift. And And I'm now going to take my hands behind my knees or behind the thighs a little, widening the elbows a touch and lifting myself a little bit higher. Squeeze a ball between your knees. And you're going to take your arms back so they're level with about your ears. Clasp the hands together and lay the bones back down. 2 more of these. Watch the pelvis hasn't tipped backwards, so realign to neutral, lift all the way up. Perhaps an inhale as you take a hold of the outer thigh and exhale as you increase that flexion. Reaching the arms all the way back, rather like our double leg stretch. Clasp the hands behind the middle skull and lay the bones back down. 1 more of these. Big inhale and exhale. Lift the head, neck and chest. Careful you're not overly curling the tail as you bring the hands forwards, widening your elbows a little. Find your big toe, second toe, squeeze an imaginary ball. Keep the height of your body as you take those arms back, preferably level with the ears. Clasp the hands and bring it all the way back down again. This time, we add a little bit of rotation, so we pick the head, neck and chest up and pause. And I want you to roll your knees a little in one direction as we find a middle back rotation the other direction. Back through center, and we roll the knees a little, and we middle back rotate, and back through center. Now if you need breaks in between, please take them. Rotate to one side, and back to center. Make sure it's not just all about your thigh bones moving around. Really make sure that you're evenly taking your pelvis in one direction and your middle back in the other. And again, to the side. And back through center. We'll do 1 more each side. Rotate and back through center. Careful you're not clamping chin to chest. Rotate and back through center. Allow your head, neck and chest to come all the way down and reach one leg beautifully long, other leg beautifully long. Arms reach out. From there we move into a little roll up if you can. So if you need to modify by using your hands behind your knees, please do. But otherwise an inhale to lift head, neck and chest. Allow your little seat bone headlights to flick up just a little as you take a stretch forwards. And again, keeping that C curve, soften your shoulder blades, down your back, and all the way back with your arms. And again, an inhale as you lift your head, neck, and chest. Feel how your little seat bone headlights just come to that full beam as you're coming up and over. And again, watch you're not clamping chin to chest. 1 more. All the way back, really feel the collarbones open, the arms lift, the head, neck and chest lifts as we inhale. And then an exhale, get rid of the air. So important that you're using your abdominal breathing. So right down into the deepest point of your abdomen. And this time as you bring it all the way down, the hands will come down by our sides. Drag the right foot in towards your bottom and into bent knee position. We're going to do some little leg circles, so reach your leg up towards the ceiling. Flex deeply your ankle. Make sure you haven't overly flattened your back as you bring your leg across, around and up. Across, around and up. Very, very anchored on the non-circling side. Keep those collarbones open. Around and up. We'll go the other way. So really stable pelvis. You can always take a little look at your other hip. And again, around and up. We'll do 2 more. And up. 1 more. And pause. Now you can take a hold behind that thigh or slide the leg a little higher. Take a little hamstring stretch. Now I'm trying to imagine there's a little ice cube under my low back and just push my pelvis forwards, not flattening my back backwards. And then slowly from there, reach that leg long and lengthened away from you. Drag the other leg in. Begin in bent knee. If this is easier for you because your hamstrings are really tight, keep it in a bent knee position. But then reach that leg up towards the ceiling. Flex deeply through the ankle. Collarbones open, ribs are down. Come across, reach it away all the way around and up. Across, reach, around, and up. 2 more. Full range, and up. Last one. And up. Then we go the other way. Around, and up. Around. Keep breathing wide and full. Do you feel the same on both palms? Last one. Reach it away, and up. And then from there, you can take your hands behind the thigh. Be careful you haven't flattened the back at this point. If you can, we take it further up, still deeply flex through that ankle so that we can really get length through the whole of the back of the leg. And breathe. And then slowly from there, bringing it into bent knee position. Drag the other leg into bent knee position. Widening those elbows, widening your collarbones, lift your head, neck and chest, push your thigh bones away and pause. Now if you can, we keep the tail lifted and we begin to rock. Remembering that your stomach is never allowed to pull out towards your clothing. So we're going to bring it up and pause, ready for our rolling like a ball. So draw your hip bones slightly backwards, drag your toes towards your bottom, and keep the toes in position on the mat whilst you feel yourself becoming more ball-shaped. So in other words, draw your bottom ribs down, lift your tail a little up towards the ceiling, hip bones backwards, and whenever you feel that you're into the abdominal region, you're going to lift and float the feet up off the floor. Now from there you might keep your hands on top, you might hold underneath, which might enable you to keep the shins higher, it's up to you. To make it slightly more challenging, don't lift your feet so high. And you're going to inhale as you draw back, exhale as you bring it back up. Now, if you remember when we did some band work, some flex band work, we had a band behind us that wrapped around our shoulder blades. Try and imagine that you're pushing the back of your ribs into that band. Be careful your head isn't dropping at any point too close towards the chin too close towards the chest. But also make sure that your head is not overly lifted. So just gently positioning the head on top of the spine. One more. Inhale and exhale. Now slowly from there, you're going to allow yourself just to think about reaching one leg away from you. Draw it down and pause. Watch your shin isn't too low on the outstretched leg, keeping that tail up. Other shin almost in alignment with the outstretched shin. And we switch. And we switch. And we switch. And we switch. So keep thinking the position that you had in rolling like a ball. The chin was not overly tucked to the chest, but it was also not lifted up towards the ceiling. Reach, just one more, reach, pause. Now clasp the hands behind. If you need a little break, then take a little break for your neck. But otherwise your head, neck and chest is up. And I want you to tuck almost your arch into your knee, lifting your tail and pushing that arch a little in towards the knee as you begin to rotate towards the bent knee. Keep your tail lifted. And then we're going to switch. And again, feel what it's like just to tuck that arch in towards the knee. And keep that rotation from your middle back. Now we don't touch the arch anymore to the knee as we get some flow.
reaching the leg away. Find that middle back rotation. All from your middle back. From the waist down, you're so stable. And switch. And switch. Make sure that you're looking far, far away from you. Reach that leg away towards the far away wall. Reach. And reach. We're just going to do one more each side. Remember your tail attached to a gold thread up towards the ceiling, and pause here. Now slowly from there, I want you to think about reaching both legs up towards the ceiling. Could you hold on to one leg? Be careful you haven't lifted the tail too much as we reach the other leg away from us. Pull, pull, and switch. Pull, pull, and switch. Pull, pull, and switch. Every time that you switch from side to side, make sure that you're not pushing your pelvis from side to side. You're looking for total stability. Are you breathing? Collarbones open. One more each side. And last one, pause. Both legs come up. Squeeze those inner thighs together, holding behind your middle skull. And only if you can, keeping that tail 1 millimeter lifted by the gold thread, the legs go down, the legs come up. The legs go down, the legs come up. Now remember the engagement that you're feeling here through the low stomach as those legs reach away and they come back up. Just one more, because this is what we're looking for when we move into our rollover now. So bring your head, neck and chest down. Your hands are down by your sides. No blocks, no towels, no nothing underneath your head. As you use those stomach muscles to come up and over, flex both ankles, part your feet so they are hip socket width apart, and just melt the spine down. A little point of the toes, a gentle circle away from you as those legs come in. And again, the stomach is never allowed to push out, bulge out. Always drawn in away from your low clothing. Parting those feet hip socket width apart, all the way down. A gentle circle. And last one, coming smoothly up and over. Now remember, don't try this rollover if it's not something that you would comfortably do in a class. And this last one, melt that spine. Bringing a small circle, legs together, draw them in. Maybe just take your hands to your knees, pull the thigh bones out for a moment, circling them a little away from you and around, a bit of hip mobility and an inner thigh stretch. Two going the other way, lingering on the outside edge of both of these circles. You might even roll your head a little to one side, roll your head a little to the other side. Lift your head, neck and chest up, and then slowly from there, a gentle rocking action, however many it takes you to bring it all the way back up. Now from there, just sitting for a second. Maybe this is tricky for you, maybe you need to sit on a towel, maybe you sit on a block or a book or something that helps you just to lift up a little. If you can, pull the skin out from under your seat bones. It's almost as though we're pulling the seat bones back behind us. And from there, perhaps part the legs a little, might make you a little more comfortable. So from here, if you can, we have both hands behind the middle skull. And sit. And hopefully feeling comfortable. If you need to bend your knees, please do. If you need to sit in a little bent knee position, little diamond position with your legs, please do. But from here, we're going to take a gentle rotation of that middle back to one side. Back through center. And again, a little gentle rotation and back through center. Remember what it feels like to try to pull your hand back towards taking a wallet out of your back pocket or taking a pistol out of the back pocket. Remember what that felt like. Never allowing your shoulder to roll forwards. So if you need a different arm position, maybe capital E or T position arms, please do.
change the position if it's easier for you. Keep breathing. Don't mind how, as long as you breathe. Now on this next one, I want you to pause, and you're going to very slowly from there allow yourself a little rotation to the right. And now we're going to imagine rolling down, left elbow towards left knee. Down, down, down. Restack, low back, middle back, upper back, and eyes. Back to center. And remember, if you've got any disc issues whatsoever, you never ever want to be articulating your spine into flexion with rotation. So we bring now the right elbow to the right knee and restack. Low back, middle back, upper back, eyes. And again, a middle back rotation and an articulation. Bringing my left elbow to my left knee. Restack. Low back, middle back, upper back, eyes. Recenter. And last one. I'm rotating to the left. And I'm now articulating down and down and down my right elbow to my right knee. Restack. Low back, middle back, upper back, eyes, and center. Now slowly from there, bring your hands back, bring your feet together. We're just going to open the hips a little. Remember, don't have your hands too wide, and it might be that you would prefer to take your hands out to the side. Do a couple each way. So imagine somebody who's prodding you between your shoulders as you elevate those hips. So I want you to feel the back of the body working, the bottom, the hamstrings, and quietly all the way back down. Remember, you can try this with the hands out to the side if it's more comfortable. Open your collarbones, elevate, open the chest, head comes back just that little bit, and lower back down again. Keep that imaginary something prodding you in between your shoulder blades, pushing the chest forwards. We do just one more. Elevate, lift, opening that hip up. As we're now going to do a little spine stretch forwards. So coming back down onto the bottom, I'm again going to pull the skin out from underneath my seat bones, part the legs so they're about mat width apart, and allow yourself just to flex deeply through your ankles. If you need to bend a little at the back of the knees, please do. Arms come up in front. Imagine they were on a glass table. Create a little length at the back of the neck. Keep imagining that you're pulling your seat bones to the end of your mat behind you. As we allow a suction cup to pull the crown of the head forwards as you're pulling your seat bones backwards. Stomach wall drawn in. Restack upon the seat bones, low back, middle back, upper back, and eyes. And again, keep breathing. Just the most gentle length at the back of the neck. I'm thinking seat bones begin to pull backwards as the crown of the head is drawn forwards. Try not to lift your shoulders at all. The arms are just resting on that glass coffee table. Restack, low back, middle back, upper back, and eyes. And again, one more. A little bit of length at the back of the neck. Pull your seat bones back behind you to enable the pelvis to move forwards. Allow those seat bones to pull back. You'll feel a hamstring stretch. Keep flexed in your ankles. Now this time I'm just going to lift my head, neck and chest up a little, palms face. And as I push the breastbone forwards and up, bring my arms back and hold. Hold and hold. So keep thinking, the breastbone goes forwards and up, the eyes lift up, the arms are as straight as I can manage, and I simply want you to lift your knees and push the knees away down into the mat as you pull your seat bones backwards. Again, lift those knees. And as I push the knees down, push the seat bones all the way back. And again, one more, lift the knees and push those seat bones back
behind me as I push the knees down, and slowly reach a little forwards again as you restack low back, middle back, upper back, eyes, and lift your arms up, and that should feel so much easier to just lift, hold, bring those arms out to the side. Maybe widen your feet just a little tiny touch as we rotate towards one foot. I've gone to my right. Now from there, left hand would come forwards. Flick the back thumb so it's facing down, really sitting beautifully tall. Again, remember, any disc issues, regardless of how historical, you're not going to now add flexion to rotation. Restack, low back, middle back, upper back, eyes. And again, slowly from here, rotate to the left. Thumb forwards and up, thumb back and down. And again, pull that seat bone right back and restack. Low back, middle back, upper back, eyes, rotate and feel that soar as we reach little pinky finger towards little pinky toe and restack. And again, center, rotate back and chopping off that little toe. All the way back up, low back, middle back, upper back, eyes. And we're just going to do one more. Middle back rotation, anchor those seat bones. Bringing your back thumb down and soar. Restack, low back, middle back, upper back, eyes. Last one, middle back rotation. Feel now, there's almost a spine stretch forwards. And restack, low back, middle back, upper back, eyes. You can bring those legs together, hugging for a moment as we now prepare to come onto our elbow for a little side kick on our elbow. So from here, underside knee will remain in a bent knee position as we reach that top leg away from us. So really think about the position of the elbow directly underneath the shoulders. There's no collapsing down into that shoulder. Push that top hip away from you. Push, 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 and hold. So just lower it a little, lift it a little. Lower it a little, that's where we don't want to be. We want to be lifted. One more, lower it a little and lift it a little. So remember, even in this position, it's almost as though we're doing a little lateral flexion. We're opening up the ribs on the top, closing the ribs on the underside. As we now bring that foot forwards and take it back. We'll flex it forwards and point it back. Flex forwards, point back. Flex forwards, point back. So we're opening that top hip and back. Trying to keep the ribs as stable as possible. One more, point back and hold it here. See if you could take that leg a little further back. Little further back, little further back. Pause. Now we'll do little pulses back. 10, 9, 8, 7. Not letting it get any lower. 4, 3, 2, and 1, hold. Keeping it back there, we're going to do little lifts up. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bringing it now in. Find a little Z position if you can. And take a gentle stretch up and over. Hold your wrist. And then slowly from there, we're coming back to finding a little plank on one side. So could you now, with that underside leg still in the bent knee position, tuck your top leg just into where your ankle forms into the foot. So this hand is a little in front of the shoulder. Pull the top knee back, but draw your hips forwards. And whenever you're ready, it's almost that lateral flexion again. We shorten the underside, open the top side, straightening your legs, lifting it up. And hold. Hold and breathe. lift a little higher, and then slowly let it come all the way back down. And again, straightening those legs, lifting it up, shortening the underside, lengthening the top side ribs, and all the way back down. One more. Lift, 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 straightening those legs, lifting it up and over that top hand, and all the way back down. And we'll spin it around and do exactly the same on the other side. So we come down onto the elbow, underside leg remains nice and bent as we push the top leg away from us. Be careful of your head that it doesn't get pulled forwards. And so slowly from there, I'm just going to straighten up on that a little. Slowly from there, I want you to think about lifting your leg a little, lowering it a little. Lift it a little, lower it a little. This may be where you stay. Lift a little, lower it a little. Because remember, we want to keep it lifted. So we've lifted it and hold it there. Remember, you've almost opened your top ribs a little, shortened and drawn the underside ribs a little more towards each other. And then we're going to let that leg come forwards and back. Now we can add flex forwards with the foot, point back. Flex forwards, point back. Flex, point. Flex and point. Flex, point. Flex and point. Two more, one more. Hold it back here. Hold, 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 hold. And slowly from there you're going to pull it back. 2, 3, 4. Your upper body doesn't change. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Holding it back there. Keep that leg super straight. We're going to lift it. 10, 9. Watch that top elbow doesn't pull backwards. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 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 hold. And let it come down. And then slowly from there, bringing it into your Z sit, you're going to come up and over. Again, shortening the underside, opening the top side. You could hold your wrist and pull. Breathe. And then we're just going to do 3 little side planks again. So the underside leg pushes away still in bent knee, but slightly longer in the angle, or larger in the angle at the knee than the last exercise. And you're going to tuck that heel just in where the ankle forms into the foot. Stabilize to your shoulder blades. Slowly from there, straightening both legs, lift up to come over. So remember, we're shortening the underside ribs again and opening the top. And then a little knee bend to bring it back down. Lift up, straighten those legs up and over. And all the way back down. We just have one more. Straighten those legs up to come over. And all the way back down. Bringing ourselves straight on now to our tummies. And we're just going to do a little bit of prone work. So now looking straight down. I want you to take your hands and you're going to clasp the fingers of one into the palm of the other. Keep your legs as close together as you can manage. Elbows drop heavily down. Rest onto one cheekbone. And we're simply going to kick, 2, 3, and reach those arms away as you open your chest, pubic bone really heavy. Eyes don't look too far forwards. We then bend in the knees, hands come back up, drop the elbows down, resting onto the new cheek. And we kick in with a flex ankle, 1, and 2, and 3, and reach, 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 reach. Open the collarbones, pubic bone heavy. And again, hands up, elbows down, kick 1, kick 2, kick 3, and open your chest. Pubic bone heavy, push your breastbone forwards. And the new cheek, high hands, drop the elbows down, kicking in 1, kicking in 2, Kicking in 3, and reach those arms. Pubic bone weighted. And one more each side. Hands high, elbows down. 1, 2, 3, and reach. Pubic bone heavy. Last one, hands high. Kicking 1, kicking 2, kicking 3, and reach everything out. Pubic bone weighted, eyes ever so slightly in front. And rest everything down. So now take your arms out to T. Push more weight into the pubic bone as you lift the head, neck, and chest just a touch. And we're going to lift the back of the arm up. And lift it up. So I'm keeping the upper body pretty stable as I lift up. Keep your pubic bone weighted, lift the arms up. And I want you to lift the arms from the humerus bone. So that's from your elbow to your shoulder. Lift. You're almost like a bird whose wings are going back and not quite down. They go back and not quite down. One more. Back, back, back. Hold. And then bring those hands to round about your shoulders, pushing yourself up. And reach everything back. Take your hands to one side of your mat, to your seat bone, up and over your opposite heel. Push that armpit down. And again, bring it to the other side. And I take the seat bone up and over my opposite heel as I push the armpit down. Back to center, restack low back, middle back, upper back, and eyes. And slowly from there, bring it back to where we started, a little diamond position. Breathe. And you're going to take your arms up, out, and stretch forwards. Restack low back, middle back, upper back, eyes, arms out, and up. And allow everything to come forwards. Restack low back, middle back, upper back. Eyes open. Lift and reach. Restack low back, middle back, upper back. Eyes open. Lift and reach. One more. Restack low back, middle back, upper back. Eyes open, open, open. Lift. And